Our first speaker, though, is a man by the name of Gerry Condon. Gerry, come on up. Okay. In 1968, Gerry Condon refused orders to Vietnam and deserted from the U.S. Army and spent 6 years in exile in Sweden and Canada. For the past 6 years, Gerry has been working closely with U.S. war resistors in Canada. He's president of Greater Seattle Veterans for Peace, co-chair of their GI Resistance Working Group, and represents VFP on the steering committee of the Bradley Manning Support Network. Please welcome Gerry.
Thank you. It feels really great to be standing here with a Veterans for Peace that is surging. We all know that an important part of our anti-war movement, an important way of putting an end to U.S. war and occupation, is supporting those soldiers, those Marines, those sailors, those Coast Guard and reservists who are resisting these wars. That resistance takes many forms. Thousands of soldiers are AWOL at this time in the United States. And there are hundreds who have actually fled the U.S. to other countries. Particularly in Canada, we have over 200 U.S. war resistors there seeking sanctuary. They've been fighting for 6 years now, a very tough legal and political struggle to maintain a sanctuary for U.S. war resistors in Canada. A couple of them have been deported by the Conservative government, and others are risking deportation and fighting it at this time. The Canadians have done a really great job of taking care of our war resistors. We need to do more to step up in support of the war resistors in Canada. I suggest that you all visit the website of the War Resistors Support Campaign in Canada, Resistors CA, and see how you can support their current efforts in support of our war resistors there. As I said, resistance takes many forms, some of which we will never see, like the search and avoid missions that went on in Vietnam and are continuing in Iraq and Afghanistan. We hear the stories from the Iraq vets. And now we have a young man who's taken a really extraordinary act, if indeed he has done what the U.S. Army has accused him of doing. Bradley Manning, a 22-year-old private first class intelligence analyst, is accused of leaking documents that reveal the true nature of the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. Included in that is the video Collateral Murder. If you haven't seen that, go on YouTube or go to WikiLeaks. Probably can get a link from that to the Veterans for Peace website as well. So of course the military is very upset that this truth about the war is being revealed. They've charged Bradley Manning with 8 different counts of undermining the good order of the military and refusing orders, etc. If he's convicted on all those counts, he could go to jail for over 50 years. And you can be sure that they want to make a scapegoat out of him and make an example to intimidate other soldiers from coming forward and exposing war crimes. And after all, it is their responsibility, even under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, to report war crimes. What Bradley Manning has done is breaking through a systematic cover-up of war crimes that go on every single day in these wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. No one's in a better position to support GI resistors than veterans, and certainly Veterans for Peace. There are things we can do right now to support Bradley Manning. The Bradley Manning Support Network, of which Veterans for Peace is part, has called for International Days of Action, September 16th through 19th. There's lots of things you can do on those days. Up in the Northwest, we are organizing regionally to go to Fort Lewis. We're going to have a Bradley Manning support rally right outside the gates of Fort Lewis. And we're going to show up with the new symbol for the Bradley Manning campaign, our whistles. We're going to blow the whistle on war and occupation. We're going to blow the whistle on war crimes. So I want to get this started right here. My partner Helen Thackard is passing out whistles right now. So those of you who are lucky, by the way, Mike Ferner just happened to have a supply of whistles in his bag and handed them to me. Okay, has everybody got their whistles? Come on, why don't you just toss them out there? Toss them out there, Helen. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. Okay, I'm told that September 14th is also the 3rd anniversary. 15th is the 3rd anniversary of Dave Klein's passing. So it'll be a good way to honor Dave as well, to get out there and support the war resistors. Okay, so let's blow the whistle on war crimes. Let's blow the whistle on war and occupation. Prosecute the war criminals, not the GI resistors and whistleblowers. Let's bring an end to war and occupation. Thank you very much.